Whose side are you on, the three stripes or the form strip? It all started in a small Bavarian town called Herzogenaurach. A river runs through the middle and a rivalry runs through the soul. For decades, people were said to glance at your shoes before your face. If they saw three stripes, one door opened. If they saw a sleek form strip, another. This is the story of two brothers who turned a laundry room into a workshop into a factory, and a factory into a civil war that reshaped the way the world runs, jumps, and dreams. It begins in the 1920s in a cramped room behind the family home. Adolf Dassler, Adi, stitches track spikes by hand, measuring by eye and instinct. His older brother Rudolf, Rudy, is the salesman with a smile and a network. He knows who needs what and how to make a handshake stick. Together they are Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, the Dassler brothers' shoe factory. Their obsession is simple, not just making shoes, but making athletes faster. Word travels by foot, then by rail. In 1936, the Berlin Olympics turn a shoe into a signal. An American sprinter named Jesse Owens laces up a pair of Dassler spikes and explodes from the blocks into history. 4 gold medals later, the brothers have proof that innovation and athlete partnerships can make a brand global overnight. Sponsorship, as we know it, has found its origin story. But success has a way of sharpening differences that were always there. War tightens rations and tempers. Family dinners become board meetings with better china. Adi is the tinkerer who believes the product must speak. Rudy is the charmer who believes the story must sell. There are arguments in the shelter during an air raid, hard words that echo for years. Trust phrase. Credit is contested. The factory floor feels like a chessboard with 2 kings. By 1948, the split becomes inevitable. The brothers divide assets, employees, and even friends. Adi walks one way across the river and founds a new company named for himself, Adidas. Rudy walks the other way and names his after-speed and a leaping cat, Puma. A single town becomes 2 headquarters, 2 canteens, 2 football clubs. The feud isn't just corporate, it's civic. Herzogenaurach is dubbed the town of bent necks, because everyone looks down first to check your allegiance. Adidas builds on Adi's engineering. Lighter uppers, better studs, details that turn seconds into tenths. The 3 stripes, originally functional reinforcement, become the logo you can spot at full sprint. The 3 stripes, originally functional reinforcement, become the logo you can spot at full sprint. The breakthrough arrives in 1954 at the World Cup final in Bern. Rain lashes the pitch, boots are heavy, footing is treacherous. The German team heads back out wearing Adidas boots with screw-in studs that can be adjusted for length. Traction becomes a tactic. The underdogs win. In living rooms across Europe, a nation sees a miracle, and on their heroes' feet a brand. Puma fires back with flair and firsts of its own. The form strip wraps the shoe in a visual speed line. The cat leaps where cameras linger. The form strip wraps the shoe in a visual speed line. The cat leaps where cameras linger. In 1970, at the World Cup in Mexico, all eyes are on Pelé. Legend says the 2 companies agreed to leave the greatest player alone, a Pelé Pact. On match day, Pelé kneels at midfield and calmly ties his Puma boots while the world's broadcast zooms in. The pact, if it existed, is over. The message is not, Puma is on the biggest stage in sports, exactly where it wants to be. From pitches to hardwood, the brothers' shadow stretches. In the 1970s, a smooth-talking New York point guard named Walt Clyde Frazier wants a lighter, lower-cut shoe that fits his game like a suit. Puma builds it, puts his name on it, and helps invent the modern signature basketball sneaker. 10 years later, a teenage Boris Becker lunges across a Wimbledon lawn in Puma, serving up a title, and a new market for tennis shoes as performance gear and fashion. Adidas doubles down on breadth and consistency. The Stan Smith and Superstar migrate from courts to street style. The Gazelle becomes a uniform for subcultures, and tracksuits carry the stripes from training grounds to music videos. The strategy is not just to be seen on champions, but to be worn by everyone who loves how champions look. In stadiums and subways alike, the stripes become a shorthand for authenticity. In boardrooms, the rivalry is a case study in strategy. Adidas prizes engineering and team sport dominance, football kits, national federations, global tournaments. Puma learns to punch above its weight with design and celebrity, living at the edge where sport meets culture. Both know timing matters. When the market wants performance, they talk technology, cushioning, lightweight uppers, new compounds underfoot. When the market wants meaning, they talk personalities, captains and creators, skaters and sprinters. The 1990s bring new weather, a swoosh from America muscles in with marketing that treats athletes as myth. Category lines blur, sneakers become statements. Inside Adidas, leadership changes and acquisitions test focus. Inside Puma, a young CEO repositions the brand as sport lifestyle, leaning into fashion, music, and limited drops long before that was standard. The town rivalry becomes a global three-way contest for hearts, minds, and closets. And yet the original DNA keeps paying dividends, product that solves problems on the field, stories that light up off it. World Cups and Champions League nights give Adidas a grandstand for boots and balls. Olympic sprints and relay handoffs keep track spikes relevant. Collaborations with designers and artists renew the romance of the stripes. Puma keeps finding charisma, footballers with swagger, sprinters who showboat because they can back it up, musicians who turn a colorway into a chorus. Both brands learn to live in two tempos at once, the 4-year cycle of tournaments and the weekly tempo of street style. Beneath the logos, the lessons rhyme. Innovation doesn't win until it meets a moment. Screw-in studs need a rainstorm. Endorsements don't matter until they feel honest. Pelé doesn't need a billboard when the camera will come to him. Local roots make a global brand sturdier. Herzogenaurach's cobbled streets keep both companies close to the craft. And Rivalry, when it's generative, is an R&D lab with a scoreboard. For the town, there are quieter arcs. Over time, the fence is lower. In 2009, employees from both companies met on a football pitch and shook hands, honoring the past without living in it. Factories hum, designers sketch, and most days the only question that matters is the same one that started it all. Can we make an athlete better tomorrow than today? So whose side are you on? The three stripes or the form strip? Maybe the better answer is that everyone who has laced up a pair of boots, jogged in the cold, or stepped onto a court has already chosen both. The brothers' feud made competition the engine of an industry. It taught brands to listen to athletes and to speak to culture, and it turned a small town's divided sidewalks into a runway for the way the world moves. Stand at the river in Herzogenaurach on a grey morning. A cyclist passes on the bridge. A runner taps a watch and picks up the pace. A kid kicks a ball against a wall. Their shoes will end up scuffed, their laces smudged, the logos a little worn. That's the point. Adidas and Puma didn't just sell shoes. They sold the possibility inside them, and in chasing each other, they made that possibility bigger for everyone.